Hi. I'm Dori.
I'm Meg.
And we are starting a podcast called...
Yeah.
What?
We?
Use our powers for good?
Yeah. Or just...
just say it like that.
Use your powers for good.
Okay.
We use our powers for good.
I'm Dori.
I'm Meg.
And we are starting a podcast today called... We use our powers for good. That felt really like we landed
so
there.
Organic.
Okay, so let's start by talk about how this started for you.
How did it start? So, I think it was Terry. Every time we hang out with Terry, she's like, oh my God, I love, when you two are together, I just love being in your energy, and if I could be a fly on the wall at the way when you two interact.
For sure.
That started it, and then...
Was that like a couple years ago?
Yeah, it was like probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
And then in the last couple of years, I've had people tell me that I'm a good storyteller, and that my stories are really unique and weird and wonderful, and they always have some like lovely message in a unique way. Mm-hmm. And so someone told me to start a podcast, and I was like, ugh, that sounds awful. But doing it with you sounds lovely.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And then also for the kids to have just this storytelling historical component. Mm-hmm. Legacy sounds aggressive, but something like that.
Sure. So we not only could be sharing, but we could have something for our generation below.
Right. What about for you?
It's funny because this is how we're different by 10 years. I'm 10 years older than Meg. That my generation of people are like, oh, you'd be good on radio. You have a great radio voice. I love your voice. Like was working at this clinic a couple years ago, and the massage therapist that worked there every day, he works like, oh my God, I knew you were here. I could hear your beautiful voice. Like it's just
yeah.
But I'd be great on radio. I would guess we have the same storytelling tendencies. Right?
I think so.
And some of how we work in our businesses, we tell a lot of stories, and it makes sense that we would tell stories together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you have any intentions outside of us?
I suppose helping heal more people, or just showing a fuller healing story.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we have a huge narrative about all sorts of healing. The good and the bad, the ugly, the crying, all that.
Well, and I think the same thing, and I think we go and learn healing tools, which we'll talk about that because not everyone's doing that, right? Well, then you don't get to see anyone demonstrate them. Like in our case, both our oh my gosh, the cat. Thanks, Mitz, for jiggling the light fixture.
He's literally been just napping all day for this moment.
That we go learn these things, and then we don't have anyone to practice them on or to observe doing it. So I do think there's something about having people have the opportunity to watch two healthy people that have had different journeys to taking care of themselves, and that people get to watch us navigate that together. Which then provides an opportunity to go, oh, that's how you do that. Mm-hmm. You sit in a total uncomfortable silence while someone else cries, and you don't have to say anything. What does that look like? What does that mean? Right.
And being in a space where that's allowed and okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Not feeling unnormal or judged or...
Right. I also think that we have a lot of unique stories that many women have. Mm-hmm. Our mom died. Meg was 19. I was 29. Our dad was an alcoholic, and he was abusive. I'm divorced. I have kids. You don't have kids. Our brother killed himself a few months ago. Our dad died. I mean, we did have lots of pieces. The different generations that we grew up in, the struggles of being a woman. Just lots of goodies.
Yeah. Lots of goodies. And the other unique thing is you live here.
Yes, in Minneapolis.
Midwest, and I'm in California in Santa Cruz.
And this is Mitz the cat.
Can you see him? Yep, there he is. And we only get to see, we have the opportunity to see each other every 6 weeks.
Yep.
So I come into work I work at a salon. I'm a hair and makeup artist. And we both come from a holistic, organic, clean background, especially after our mom died.
Yep.
And I'm a water woman now.
She gets to live on the ocean, and I don't.
Someday.
Yeah, someday
I'll
for
get you
sure.
there.
Yeah, and I live in Minneapolis. My office is 2 blocks away. I am a physical therapist, but I don't really do traditional PT. I do functional medicine, which is bigger picture medicine, and some nutrition work, and some cool cranial sacral. And so the shared piece is that we work with women and people, and we end up listening a lot, and we end up offering, not, I wouldn't call it advice, but in the listening, we're guiding and storytelling, and helping kind of provide perspective and healing to people, which is sort of magical. So that's something shared that we have.
Yeah. And then I'm sure your clients too have talked about this experience too. It is weird for me, for people to come to me for advice. I'm like, I'm a hair and makeup artist. But because of our...
Oh, but I'm a lovely human too.
But because of our experiences and our choices to walk into fear,
Right.
rather than hide from it,
Right.
Exposes us to groundbreaking stuff.
Right.
So I think this is a great platform too for more people to hear.
Yeah, and you had said that recently, so our brother killed himself in October, middle of October, and we'll talk about that at some time, but that for sure was a catalyst for you to be like, we need to do this now.
Yeah. It was like, what am I doing with my life?
Well, oh, just 1,000 things.
No, but I was like, now's the time. It's time.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
like, I feel like I was awake, or I was sleeping, and now I'm awake.
Yeah.
And now I'm learning how to juggle. I'm like, oh my gosh. 5 years ago, I'm like, I'm doing all these extra things, and I would have been like, that's crazy, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I can't go back to the old way, because there's too much to do.
Right. And I remember you saying that, because when you were here like a few weeks after he died.
Right.
And then you said that, and I'm like, let's do it January, when you're here in January. And I don't even know what that is, and it was right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I was like, let's do it tonight. Like, whoa.
yeah.
Whoa.
I have to yell at the cat, Mitz, get out of the curtains! Mitz! He literally is scratching the inside of the curtain. Okay. Which is why I don't want him up here.